Welcome back to the Let's Talk podcast. This is episode, I believe, 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the number of completion.
completion. This is episode 7, and we are here tonight. We may not be the complete version of the Let's Talk.
Podcast.
Deep thinking Russ is not here tonight.
Oh man, we don't get to hear no antiquated, no connoisseur,
nothing. We don't get the chair dancing and all that tonight. It's just y'all are stuck with us. But I am K3, and
but kudos to you because you get perfect attendance. You have been on every episode. I think I missed one, maybe two.
Yeah.
This is Russ's first
time.
so you get perfect attendance.
So that means I get a hall pass. I get a chance to miss something. But no, listen, we are glad to be here with you all. Whenever you listen to this, daytime, nighttime, evening time, afternoon, whatever time it may be, we hope you're having a great and wonderful day. And RBK is in the building.
I'm here.
And
Late, but I'm here.
we are serious about this thing. We're glad that we have dedicated members of the Let's Talk podcast. Like we really are. Like we really are trying to stay consistent, and we got some other things that we're gonna do. We're trying to do other things on Instagram, and so make sure you check us out. Let's_talk_ podcast 23 or pod 23. Yeah. Anyway,
whatever you say. I don't know.
Find one of our pages and we're connected to it.
I just know I found
But
the name of it. Sorry.
yeah. So I mean, hey, we are definitely putting some things in there now weekly to try to make sure that we encourage you, keep you uplifted. We don't have no negative post to give to you.
Oh no.
But we're gonna definitely keep you uplifted every day of the week that we can. So let's get started into this. But let's start with the question. How are you feeling? you knew it was coming.
That's what we do. That's how we feel. I'm feeling pretty. Let's see, pretty good. Work is still it ain't came down yet. Usually I know like with education, probably with anything, you have those high moments and then it kind of simmers down a little bit. It ain't simmered down yet. It ain't simmered down yet. I'm waiting on the simmer. So it's still boiling real hot. So
waiting on the simmer. I definitely.
But other than that, it's September. We're almost out of September. Getting ready to go into the holidays.
Crazy.
So my mind is focused on budgeting, saving some things, making sure I got everything I need to get. So, but other than that, to be expected, except for work. I just need work just to come on down a little. I need to just get in the flow and the rhythm of things being, like like when you go to work, you want the regimen of what it's supposed to be, and it's like, it ain't happening.
Hasn't gotten there yet.
Every day is something new. I'm like, okay, when are we just going to have a regular day?
Right. Now, I will say this. You all are definitely having, well, I don't know about where you're at, but I know this county is definitely having teacher work days. They're having their fair share of teacher work days. Every time I turn around, my daughter say I'm out of school. I'm like, you just got out Tuesday. Why are you out now on Thursday?
We have not had our fair share.
Oh, y'all haven't?
No, we've only had one so far. And teacher work days are a good thing.
Right.
But they really just need to stop calling them teacher work days. They really need to call them professional development days.
Right.
Extended day.
Right.
Because it's like, it's not a day where teachers are actually working. It's a day where teachers are being trained how to do something else.
Yeah.
A teacher work. Legislators, senators, House of Representatives, commissioners, we need to go back to virtual Mondays. Okay? Teachers need a day. Administration needs a day where they can really do the paperwork that they need to do so that way they can be prepared for the classwork. Like, as a teacher, even when I was a teacher, it would be like, you got so many other things to do that by the time you actually get to the teacher part, you're so wore out from the other things, it's just like, well, my Lord.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had to do all that. So
yeah.
We need to bring. There are a lot of studies out there of people that do the 4-day work weeks,
yeah.
especially overseas,
definitely,
and out west.
Definitely,
United States of America, North Carolina. You really need to consider the benefits of a 4-day week.
It will be beneficial.
7 days in a week.
Yeah.
So 4 is still the majority.
Right.
And it don't matter to me whether you gave me Friday or Monday. I deal with either one.
It does not matter.
I deal with either one. I'm a church boy though, so I'll take the Mondays off because every Sunday
Right.
I can
Get
take
a chance to
a
rest.
good nap on Monday.
Yeah.
But I'll deal with Fridays too. But yeah,
But you're right. There's a study that like Japan and
yes,
they're big
they
on
do
that
4-day
work week, and you can definitely tell by the way they're still creating stuff
morale
and
in
yeah,
the
and
workplace. They have more flexibility.
yeah,
It's a lot of benefits to it. If you haven't looked that up, you should definitely look that up on Google. Ask Siri
Yeah.
or whatever your phone got. Ask them. Show you the statistics on that 4-day work week. It's very beneficial.
we can start a petition.
We need to. We really need to.
Yeah, 4-day work week would
4-day
definitely.
work week, I'm telling you.
It
And
would
a lot
work.
of times, like in the medical field and police and fire,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times they work like 3 on, 3 off.
Yeah.
They may do 4 and 3
Right.
because it's really beneficial. And then the other part I found out is like, when I work out of town, and you've worked out of town before
Right.
too. For your everyday things, like getting your oil changes, your tire rotations, getting a haircut,
Yeah.
going to the grocery store.
Those things
paying
are tough.
bills. It's hard to do that stuff when
Yeah.
you work 5 days a week and you get off at 5 o'clock. When you get off, everything is closed.
I agree.
You can't get to the bank, and if you get to the bank, the line's so long you can't go. You can't go nowhere else.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people probably pay their bills online because you ain't got time to go nowhere.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, and I don't know, it's crazy.
Things are tough, man.
It
like
is.
like you said, it's not just the working; it's the things that you have to do dealing with life.
Right. Just
You don't have
regular
no
life, you have no
time.
time.
Everything is either that you need is either packed on Saturday because everybody
Everybody there.
they got their appointment set for that Saturday. That's the only time everybody has off, or either the place is closed.
Closed.
So and if you have things to do, you have a busy weekend. You don't get anything
The
done.
weekend is literally, if you go to church, the weekend is literally Saturday.
Yeah.
And if you go to a black church, it's literally just Saturday morning.
Right. Right.
Because Sunday, for most African American churches, it can be an all day thing, which is nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, as far as for working people, it's like out of 7 days, you really only get 1 day.
That is true.
To
That is
do
true.
all the things you need to do. So I find myself, I'll be in a little late because it's like if I don't go get my oil changed, like when am I gonna get it changed?
Yeah.
When I get like you and I got like 5 cars. And
No, only have one.
When
Do
I get
not
like
listen
you-
to him. I only have one
I'll
car.
get my what's the concierge to take me?
No,
to
no.
work and
I do not
drive
have-
the other car, but
I do not have none of those things he's talking about.
regular person. So
He's not regular. He is not regular. Trust me. RBK is not regular. If you know him, to have him here tonight
do you really know?
is a blessing.
Oh please, whatever.
Anytime you see him
No,
on the show,
if you know this man.
no,
For me to be here is an honor that he would still do this without Russ.
no,
For him to even say RBK, we'll do it ourselves. I just felt so honored and so special.
I think that light falling. I think that light is
We go
falling.
way back. We grew up together, so
Yeah.
we can cut up like that. with
We
each other.
told you this is actually my god brother. Like seriously,
For real.
yeah. Like we've been knowing each other all our lives.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You've known me all my life.
Well,
You're older
about-
than I am.
but
I
how-
didn't know you all your life.
I mean, by a couple of days.
By a couple what?
A couple of years.
A couple years.
Yeah,
you're-
that's
you're
right. That's
much
right. A
older
couple of
than I
years.
am.
Our birthday actually the same month too.
And I think my mom said that you were supposed to be born on my birthday, and I was supposed to be born on your birthday. I'd have to verify that story.
Wow.
But I think I remember her telling me that I was supposed to be born on the 16th, and you were supposed to be born on the 20th.
Oh man.
So we were destined to be God brothers.
I mean,
It was in God's will.
God had it all planned out. And then our mothers been knowing each other.
Yeah, they grew up like sisters.
It's crazy.
They met
Like
each other when they were 10.
yeah. So
Or my mom was 10. I think your mom was younger than my mom. Yeah.
she is. Yeah.
So maybe 8.
So yeah. So that's our
We
backstory.
stayed in each other's home.
We have.
I remember Hurricane Floyd. We getting off topic. I remember when Hurricane Floyd came, and remember we were going to private school, so we were out for a long time, and I just went and stayed at your house for like 2.5 days. And I remember my mom calling was like, "Okay, like, are you ever coming home?
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?" I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, I guess
I mean, whenever.
never, no problem."
But it was crazy because his dad is a chef. Like seriously, he can cook. Like seriously. And so when I stayed at their home, Every morning we
Oh yeah,
woke
he
up,
cooked when you were there.
we would
Yeah,
have
he showed
breakfast.
off.
We would have breakfast and watch Saved by the Bell before we took it to school.
That's it. That was the
Every
routine.
morning.
That
That
was
I
the routine.
to this day I still like Saved by the Bell because of those times that we spent in their home.
And
Like,
when you came, we got to get Dairy Queen every day too.
yeah, we did.
But
Oh, I
never,
forgot about
but
the
I
Dairy
could never,
Queen
I could
thing.
never get the size Blizzard that you got because people always say you're older. So because you were older, you got to get the medium, and I was stuck with the small. You know, such as life.
Man, listen.
But yeah, those were the good
We
old days.
we had to do a show just on history, like
Yeah,
on
the
the
Mazda
the
626.
yep. The Blue Model 626. I put 20s on it. I don't know for what reason.
Yo, and everywhere he went, what the little saying say, everywhere the lamb went, everywhere that Mary went, the
That
lamb
one
should
shoulda
go.
go.
Everywhere he went, when he got that car, I was trying to go right along with him. Like, he pick me up, I'll go. Yeah.
That is crazy, man. So, yeah, so that's good to know. He's doing good work.
How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing happened today. My coworker's gonna get me. So today, like, we deliver like infrastructure, like water infrastructure to different companies or whatever. And so something happened like on the truck. So he came back to the plant to get me. And in the midst of him doing that today, like this, we got this stuff called fast plug. What it is like cement in a box. I mean, in a bucket, and it just flew all over everywhere, like off the truck, all over everywhere. I know he's gonna get me, but he'll be all right. It flew all over everywhere, and it flew into a ditch. It was like a lot of them,
Oh wow,
and guess who had to get it?
you did.
Yes. So I went to work today all clean,
Fresh.
smelling good, and left smelling like a pig. Like shoes were dusty, everything, man. So today was like and that normally doesn't happen because I
Right.
normally don't go out. But today was just one of those days. I'm like, the day I go out, this
This
happens.
is the day this happened.
But yeah, shout out to my man. He know what time it is. But yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Happy about the things that are happening, and you know, even though like you say, life is life, and life ain't throwing me a whole bunch of lemons,
Right.
you know, and I'm grateful for that because like you know, you got to be appreciative of the smooth seasons in
That's
life.
right.
So.
'Cause it can get rough.
I'm just appreciating life, man, and learn not to take things too serious, learn not to take things too personal, learning how to just juggle life, take life for what it is, and man, I am with that mindset is definitely helped.
Right.
So life is doing its thing, but I am too. So that's how I'm doing, man. That's how I'm doing. I'm sure Russ is doing good. He's probably on a private island somewhere. Him and Keisha probably on a private island somewhere.
Probably with a President Obama and Michelle, more than likely.
Somebody,
Yeah.
somebody famous.
Somebody famous,
Yeah.
I'm sure. May even
And they're
be
probably
somebody
shocked to see him. They're probably happy to see him.
May even be somebody from the dead out there. Man, you know, with Russ, you know, he's that guy.
He is that guy.
So I mean, Martin Luther King and Coretta might be sitting up there with him and he eating and drinking with them. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I would not be surprised either, because that is razor sharp
It's
Russ.
razor sharp Russ.
But yeah, so yeah, man, get us started in our topic tonight. What we gonna talk about?
So we're gonna talk about marketing matters,
Yeah,
and not that we're marketing specialists, but we've seen some things,
definitely,
heard some things.
definitely.
Experience
some
and let me
things.
start off with this. So last week we had our women's conference, and my mom's in charge of women's conference, and me and you were working together on
Right.
that. And I just want to applaud you, like when we had a situation where a camera failed. I won't go into details. The camera failed. But what I appreciate about KBJ is when the camera failed, it didn't for some of us, and that's a growth thing that I think every person needs to get to, no matter what your personality is. Sometimes when things happen, it just it throws us completely off.
Yeah,
And for a lot of people, it's just like they stand in that moment of mishap or mistake and just, oh God, But
Right,
then
right.
there comes a time on the level of maturity where when life is throwing you those lemons, that you got to catch them and make lemonade.
Right.
There's a time when life is throwing them at you and you like this or you crying, but then there comes a time when you just like grabbing lemons, squeezing them, and that's what you did. Like the camera failed, but production never stopped.
Yeah,
And you said that when it was over, you was like, I couldn't sit here and cry about the camera falling or this messing up or this
Right.
not being. I had to keep going because the service is still going.
Right.
The production is still got to take place. So I just think that was something that I took away just from the experience that we had working together, and something from you that I took away just when you are in those situations in life and bad things happen, or not necessarily bad things, but you get caught off guard by certain things,
Right.
you got to know how to just keep it moving, keep
Yeah.
the production rolling, because at the end of the day, whatever it is you're trying to do, it's still got to be done.
Yeah.
So it's either I'm going to do it now and finish it, or I'm going to sit here and cry and worry about it and extend and have to try to do it tomorrow,
Yeah.
next week, or the next year.
And I mean, I guess too, I look at it from the perspective that we got to have production when nobody knows what happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at many TV shows that are live, you don't know how many things went wrong in the TV show because they don't come on and say, hey guys, the camera failed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, we can't get another picture to
Yeah.
you, or whatever. You got to just move. And then at the end of the day, it's like, why cry with spoiled milk?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or spilled milk. Like, I mean, it's already spoiled or spilled.
Can't
I mean, they're both gone.
both unusable.
Yeah, so you can't use it. So, I mean, it was just, us working together. And he's talking about me. Let me say this. You only have a great production when you have a great team.
That's true.
And like, we came together and we worked together, and it wasn't like one thing about us is there's no competition. Like, nobody's trying to say, "Oh, I was the one to make sure that." No, we all, let's get it done, because he was doing all the interviews at the time during the offering time, and that was very important because at the end of the day, nobody on Facebook knew that the camera failed.
True.
We had to keep going. And when you got 200 something people watching, well, that sounds like 180 something that time. And when you got those many people watching, you had that many people watching, you can't like just come up and say, "Hey, sorry." You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry. Then they're gonna say, "Why they cut off?" You know what I'm saying? And so you got to keep going. And so I mean,
it's like if your light bill don't get paid, you can't go to if you're married, you can't go to your wife and be like, "Hey, sorry."
Yeah,
be like,
sorry.
Okay, sorry. If you don't take your behind down there and pay this bill, like, what do we need to do to get this paid?
Right.
Like, hey, sorry, we're in the dark. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way. And so I mean, we had to keep going. And as much as he's saying that I got the camera straight, he got running on the camera with the interview and just breezed right through it as if it was just like nothing. And this guy has a brain that's like, I don't know how he does it. Like, I was listening to him while he was talking, and it's good when you can glean from each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Iron definitely sharpened the iron. So like, I was looking at him, and he was just saying like an interview, and he was just going off like the rip, like an AKA. He's never stopped. Because many people get in front of the camera and they shake up. They freeze up, and they're shaking and trying to figure out like what to say. Now RBK, he went right straight with it, and that's a part of marketing.
It is.
It's a part of marketing.
Because if you have somebody, even like remember Bishop used to do the broadcast, and you have somebody come in and do the introduction.
Yeah.
Even if somebody, back in the day, that's how the church did if they were live on the radio. I've even seen Nathan Simmons and other churches on YouTube re-airing old tapes and footages from the 90s and the early 2000s. They'd have somebody come on and say, welcome to the so-and-so broadcast. Like, it matters that person's voice tone. It matters their diction.
Yep.
It matters, what they're saying in that moment, because that's the beginning of the broadcast, and you're drawing people in.
That's true.
And if you got somebody up there, hey, I think about I don't know if you've seen this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when Hillary wanted to have a baby. I think she wanted to have a baby, and her show was going national.
Right.
And so like, they were trying to tell her to do these promos because it was going in different cities. So she was doing promos for different cities. But she was still like kind of down because she didn't have no baby and she was getting older and won't marry. Mm-hmm. And Will Smith came up there and he was like, "Welcome to the Hillary Show." And he was all excited. And the guy that was on the show, I could see his face, but I don't know his name. He was like, "Okay, not like that, but just take it down a little bit." And she was just like, "Hello, welcome to the Hillary Show. We're going to be doing it Phoenix, because that was the location. She was like, Phoenix. But it was just like, she was so dead in saying it, that they were just like, scratch the production. Because that's not going to be inviting to anybody.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because if we come here and be like, "Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. we about to talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Nobody's going to listen.
As soon as they hear that first 15 seconds, like, oh no, I ain't listening. Nothing. These Negroes.
They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen.
So all of that truly does matter. You know, when you're marketing, who's the voice, who's the mouthpiece.
Yeah, and one of the things that I realize is you have to hold out like you start. Like,
oh yeah,
start
out like you're gonna hold out.
You have to, and you have to make sure if you want to start out professional, you have to be professional all the way through.
All the way through.
That's with pictures, that's with sound, that's with video, that's with flyers, that's with whatever.
So no
because
more bathroom selfies.
no, please listen. If I get one more bathroom selfie and somebody saying I want to put this on a flyer, I'm going to send it back.
Just because you have the erased background image
it's blurry?
That doesn't take away from the fact that you're standing in the bathroom, baby. We see the toilet. We see the faucet. You blurred it out, but we can make out what that does not take away from, yes, please, take a professional headshot.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just take a professional headshot because what you advertise is what people are going to expect you to produce.
Exactly.
So if you advertise country, ghetto, homemade, that's what people are going to expect your production to, and then that's who you're going to attract.
Right.
I know that's tough, but
it's the truth.
That's what you why I'm not in the in the higher markets because you're not producing high material. You're producing
low material.
standards.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's not there.
It's not there. Yeah, so.
And there's a saying that I say sometimes, what you draw them with is what you draw them to.
Yes, that's good.
And when you do, like, you have to understand this too. Let me say this to some of you people. Don't put a professional flyer out with a $10 production.
Right.
It does not match up. And people look at that type of thing.
Yes.
They look. You can put $1,000 into your commercial, but then when it come time,
come to the business. It's like what?
I mean, it's like I thought it was coming to something,
right?
And we're giving these tools because this is what people say, in conversation.
Oh yeah.
People look at your flyers. They look at the way you present your business. They look at the way you're presenting, your organization or your corporation.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking at it. And truth is, you have to make sure that whatever you are saying that you're going to do, I tell you one thing that I've learned. The best marketing scheme or the best marketing tool is word of mouth.
Yeah.
It still works.
It still works.
It still works. And, I'll be honest, a transparent moment. Like, I know how to do what I do. I didn't know how to do what I do in a way that was respected. Mm-hmm. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, I know how to do flyers, and I know how to do commercials. I know how to do pictures. I know how to do all those things. But if I can't keep my word and tell you I have something by the time I say I'm going to have it to you, if I can't, make sure I produce what I said I'm going to produce, people are not going to ask you to do anything else for them. And I learned that. People will be like, I was going to call you, but such and such told me that you said you're going to have such and such by a certain time, and you never had it. And I've done that. As a businessman, I've done that. So I had to understand that, you got to keep your word because word of mouth is the best flyer ever. It's the best commercial ever. It's the best, tool for branding ever.
And right under that is your reviews. Like, if you have a website and you can integrate reviews on your website, that's a great tool because people read reviews.
They do.
I mean, I used to be a person that didn't read reviews, but the more I've traveled, and it's very accessible on Google when you search somewhere reviews, and you start reading. And I have not chosen a hotel or not ate at a restaurant because of the reviews that I saw.
That's true.
So I mean, when you word of mouth is first, and then right after that, people are gonna look at the reviews on Facebook, the reviews on Google, the reviews on Yelp, the reviews on whatever. And my wife worked for a business one time, and they were rebranding, and they asked all of the employees to get their family members and them to go up there and leave positive reviews because people actually
they look at reviews.
Read that stuff. Yeah. And so that's very, very important that the things that are being said about your business, whether through word of mouth or through written response, that they are positive. Because if they're not, I mean, it's just like even with church. When a family moves to a town, whether we want to admit it or not, Nobody's looking in the yellow pages.
You're right.
Nobody's pulling out a phone book saying, "Ooh, what churches?"
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to Google or either Facebook, and they're gonna type in Pentecostal church, non-denominational church, whatever it is their forte is or their denominational belief is. They're gonna search that near me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna look and see. And the church that has a website that's up to date, the church that has an active Facebook page or Instagram page, the church
Yep.
that has a active online presence is going to probably be, especially if it's a family between the ages of 21 and 45, they're going to gravitate to that church first.
Yeah.
Now they may get there and see they don't like it, but they're going to go visit there first.
They're going
to check it out.
guaranteed.
And it don't matter how good yours is if you don't have no online presence in this day and age.
Yeah.
You know, even some people are like, well, I'm not getting on Facebook. And maybe personally you may not want to get up there, but if you have a business,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be on every platform that is available if you're going to maximize it.
Yeah.
That's just like music artists. They on Apple Music,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube Music,
Mm-hmm.
regular CD. You know, every avenue where music, Spotify, Pandora, everywhere that they can have their song, they're there because while one group may not listen to it on Apple, they may listen to it on Pandora.
That's true.
So if you only, cater to one arena, you're missing out on many other areas of, not influence, but exposure
Mm-hmm.
that you could have had.
Yeah.
But, when you have that one-track mindset. So all of that matters.
It does.
Even for your business, your online presence. I mean, if somebody's searching like a cameraman or photography,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to search photographer near me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And if all you got is just the fact that you listed on Google and somebody else got a website with a portfolio and reviews, most people going to choose that because they've got something they can go off of as opposed to you just being up there with an address.
Yep. That's true. I remember one time I had this young lady reach out to me about doing her wedding pictures. And she reached out to me and she was like, hey, let's have a meeting or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. This was a while back. And so she reached out to me and then what happened was we got there and she was like, let me see some of the things you've done. I didn't have anything.
No portfolio.
I mean, I had like maybe 3 or 4 pictures I could have showed her.
Right.
And I showed those pictures and she didn't choose me.
Right.
And so
and it wasn't because you weren't good or you couldn't do it.
No, I didn't have nothing to show her.
You didn't have nothing to show her.
I didn't have no type of pictures or anything.
She didn't, and that's the other thing about business. She didn't know you. You weren't family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and nothing wrong with family using you. But if you're going to really be successful in today's market,
Yeah.
you got to reach beyond just the mom and pop. You know what I'm saying? Because that day is pretty much going to we like mom and pop shops because they have the traditional stuff.
Right.
But, nobody's going uptown to the market anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? People are going for convenience. And look at all the things you have. You have Instacart. And look, I was not even an Instacart user. Like, a lot of these new things they have, like, I don't really get into it. But when we went out of town in July
Mm-hmm.
to a conference. And we had forgot something for Mackenzie for the baby.
Right.
And so we had a car, but it was like between what we were there for and trying to find a grocery store, it was just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, maybe I should use Instacart. And, like, it really worked. Like, it was more expensive, but the convenience.
Yeah, it was worth it.
And I was like, I see why people use this or do the grocery delivery, like, come to my car.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this saves me time.
Right. Right.
Because I was in a strange town that I wasn't familiar with.
Right.
So I would have had to put in my GPS, grocery store near me. And, when you're not in a familiar area, sometimes they don't have the same grocery stores. Like, we got Food Lion and Piggly Wiggly and, Kroger and stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Other places may not have that. They may have a Wegmans or something that you're not familiar with. So it's
Right.
like not only do you have to go find this place, then you're inside a strange grocery store where you don't know where stuff is. So I just thought about all the time. So I'm like, well, for the time and the gas that I would have wasted to do that, I guess it was worth the extra $5 or $10
Almost definitely.
to get it delivered to me. You know what I'm saying?
Most
But
definitely.
a lot of times when we're looking at, like you said, we don't have nothing to show
Yeah.
for what we have. There's no proof of our success.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that we just say we're successful. But, again, the reviews, the portfolio. There's got to be something out there that says, hey, this church is the church to be in. Hey, this is the photographer to use. This is the restaurant to eat in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It has to
got
be.
to be something.
And I mean, and the thing is that I think we understand this day and time, you have to pay for those type of
Yes.
tools to be used. I guess you can use the word the branding, that type of branding. Like it's nothing wrong with spending money in that area because you're gonna make that money back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all
Double, triple.
people will come. Like he said, he did not go to a restaurant because the review was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen times I've been somewhere because people read reviews nowadays.
You may not believe it, but especially that age 18 to probably like 45.
Oh yeah,
they
read
them reviews. We're gonna. I don't care if it's a Hilton. I don't care if it's McCormick and Schmick's.
We don't care.
I'm going to read the review on that particular restaurant at that location
because we want to know what's going on.
I want to know what's going on, and if they got a 3 or a 2 or 3.5,
yeah,
I'm probably not gonna go.
No.
And my dad, he always says these two sayings that he's always said to me. He was like, whatever you are in charge of, you will have to invest in. So if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to invest in it. Like, at some point, you're going to have to invest back in your business or invest back in your organization. But like you said, you'll get it back.
Yeah.
You will get it back. And I can't remember the other thing he said. It left my brain. So,
Russell, it left your brain?
It left my brain. Russell must be watching me right now. And teleporting some of that crazy stuff he be doing.
Russ probably saying something real deep right now. Well, business. What I've learned is,
that's how
you know,
sit back,
sit back, chilling. Business. Yeah. So, but I mean, you're telling the truth because truth is, I mean, a lot of people that we know now, when it comes down to like catering, photography, videography, even carpet cleaning businesses and car wash detailing, all those people have some type of website. Instagram is a free website. It's a free website. Facebook is a free website. And the thing is that is going to take, in order to get to that plateau, it's going to take time.
Yes.
You have to put the time in order to see your business grow. And one thing about sometimes us, not just talking about our culture, but talking about people in general, we don't feel like we have the time.
Right.
When you do have the time, you just don't want to take that time and do it. You rather take that time and, play around with a video game or either say you're lazy. You want to scroll. Right. You want to scroll Facebook and Instagram instead of actually taking the time to build your business. Because truth is, it's not going to grow unless you first grow.
Yep.
Many of us is like, I think John Maxwell says like the law of the lid. If you're a 3, your business is not going to go past a 3.
Yep.
If you're a 5, you think on a 5 level, a level 5, your business not go past a level 5.
That's right.
And it's not until you invest in yourself, and I think you said something very good on last week on the other show we did. You were saying like if you have a graphic business, go to school, get a class and invest in yourself. And sometimes I know experience is what we say the best teacher, but sometimes in this field, experience is not the best teacher because
you don't want to have to experience it to know it. You want to be ahead of the game.
Exactly. And then truth be told, everything is changing.
Yep.
It's not like you may think you're on top of your game only to find out that somebody else, is better than you.
And it may be a situation like you're making good money. And if you want to do better, like instead of buying another camera, you may need to go to a photography conference. Maybe there's a conference for photographers. So take that $1,000 that you would have used to get that better camera and say, you know what? Let me fly. I'm just making up something. Let me fly out to New York and go to this photography conference.
Yeah.
And there may be some tools and strategies and just inspiration that you receive there that could be far more better because at the end of the day, what's great? What's better? Getting a new camera that you got to learn how to use, which I mean that eventually will be beneficial.
Right.
Or you actually going somewhere and getting some business tools and strategies that you can come back and expand your business.
Right. That's always better.
Now you can offer maybe, and I'm not into photography, so I don't know what words to say, but maybe you can offer more expanded businesses.
Right.
More expanded services in your business outside of just the standard photography. Maybe there's some things you can do with the equipment you already have.
Right.
That's going to make you the money. And then maybe there's some programs out there that you don't even have to buy the camera. They'll buy the camera for you. There are a lot of things out there if we will do the research. And that's what I'm trying to get into even with preaching and pastoring and things like that. Finding, even professionally, I enrolled in 3 professional developments online. I was like, I don't know why I did that. But anyway, I done done it now. 3 professional developments online. One dealing with emotional social health of children, one dealing with creating greater teacher efficacy among a group of teachers, and then one dealing with behavior modifications. You know, because those are some things that I'm dealing with where I am,
Right.
and so I want to be able to speak from a place of not only experience but knowledge,
Right.
to provide solutions.
Right.
Now, is that going to cause me to probably stay at work late some days because getting that done during a regular work day probably won't happen? Yeah, but it's free.
Yeah.
And it's knowledge that I know will benefit me along the way. And sometimes when we get into whatever field we're in, whether it's religious, business, you know, car wash, photography, catering, whatever it is, you know, we just so focused on what we know
Right.
that we don't want to expand. You know, even
Right.
like cosmetologists, sometimes they go to hair shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it may be eccentric, but it may be something there that you hear or see
Right.
that's like, you know what, I could take that and do something. You know, because it's a saying, I can't remember the actual saying, but it's like one basically saying the craziest thing can spark the best idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you're going out to coffee with a friend, going out to drink coffee with a friend, and you think y'all just having a conversation, but something can be said in that simple conversation that sparks $1 million idea in your head.
That's true.
You know, that you never would have had if you didn't go out to drink that coffee. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So,
and you think about how many organizations started from a time out to get coffee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or started from a conversation at a dinner table. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the thing. You have to have great connections.
Yes.
And then don't always think that you're the best in the room, or don't put yourself in a situation where you are the best in the room. Try to find somebody, because there is somebody that can do it way better than you. Yeah, that can handle that's more organized than you, that takes better pictures than you, that cooks better than you, they detail cars better than you, and there's nothing wrong. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes with us, we act inferior to people who are better than us, and we're scared to get the knowledge.
Right.
But that's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. You want to make sure that you surround yourself with people who actually can do the work, and they have proof that they've done the work better than what you've done. One of the things that I would say with me is that I'm a jack of all trades I say a lot of trades, but I'm master of none. Mm-hmm. And now I'm starting to get to a place where I'm in my life now. I'm like, okay, I got to master this, because I can do a lot of things, but I can't say one that I've actually mastered. And because at the end of the day, the master is going to get paid more than the one more than Jack. That's good. And you can say, I want master pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can charge somebody, man. There was a guy one time I did a wedding. He was a photographer. He was telling me, he was like, man, people charge $40,000, $50,000 for photographer pictures. For wedding pictures. And I'm thinking to myself, like, $40,000. But there are people who actually pay that type of money. But guess what? They want $40,000 worth of pictures and $40,000 worth of work. So, if I want that, I have to put myself around those people. Sometimes you got to spend your money to go to a wedding to see them do what they do. I don't want take no pictures. I want to just be there just to help you. Yeah, I just want to shadow you, just see how you do it. What kind of camera do you use?
Right.
What kind of lighting do you use? There's nothing wrong with that. And so don't feel like, you're basically becoming somebody's puppet or whatever. It's nothing wrong with having somebody to help you to be better.
Right. And they may be in another market. They may be in Charlotte.
That's true.
But you can take what they're doing in Charlotte and bring it to Greenville.
Yep.
And trust me, there's somebody in Greenville that'll pay $40,000.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's you'll be surprised at people who will be willing, especially on certain occasions, certain things, like funerals, weddings. Those are usually like once in a lifetime. Events, even if you get married again, most of the time it's not as extravagant as it was the first time.
It's not as extravagant.
The first time is the first time.
Yeah.
And then if it's a funeral, you're not going to have but one of those. So,
We hope you do.
Yeah, we hope you do.
But Russ, we know. Russ may come back to life.
Yeah, he'll probably come back to life. Baby showers, you might have more than one of them depending on how many children you have. But anyway, the point is the market is not, what's the word I'm trying to say? Not independent, but it's not locked in. But that ain't the word I'm trying to say. The word I want to say is monopolized.
Right,
The
right,
market is not monopolized by
right.
one person
Mm-hmm.
because they're in their area
Yep.
doing their thing. And
It's
even
so
if they are
many.
the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
if they're the greatest, at some point they're gonna get booked up.
Yeah.
They're gonna take a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Something's gonna happen. And guess what? When they're booked up and have a vacation, somebody else
Got to
that
step
still
in.
wants that same quality.
Yep.
And that's when they can either refer them to you or because they know you're out there, I can do the same type of work this man can do.
Yeah.
And I'm free.
Yeah.
But if you've never, sometimes we don't want to humble ourselves. I think that's just a human nature. We don't want to humble ourselves and take lessons from others.
Yeah.
It's something that we just if you're going to be successful in anything, and that's not just entrepreneurship. Even if you're working in corporate America,
Mm-hmm.
Fortune 500 company, if you're working in education, if you're working in sales,
Yep.
it's always something you can learn from somebody else in their market that may not be happening in your market.
Right.
And if you're the one that introduces it, then guess what? You're the only one in that area doing it.
Yeah.
Then you become popular and famous, and now you can train somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
to take maybe the contracts or whatever the case is that you can't take.
Yeah.
And then it keeps, and then the Bible says it. You reap what you sow.
You do.
If you help somebody else,
Somebody will help you. Yep. That's true. And don't be afraid, especially we live in a social world, like we said before, Instagram, Facebook. Don't be afraid to follow these people.
Right.
And then reach out to them.
Yep.
Like, there are plenty, well, I say plenty. There's maybe 2 photographers that I follow. Manny Ortiz, he's in Chicago.
Wow.
And I reached out to him. I haven't got a reply back, but he doesn't know me. I mean, He also has like a couple of 100,000 followers. Right. So, he probably didn't even see my message. But I reached out to him. You know what I'm saying? Either I comment on his videos or his photos or whatever, because he's a great photographer.
Right.
And I think now he's actually endorsed by Sony.
Oh, wow.
So he gets like all the new Sony stuff. And so, I mean, that's where I want to be. I want to be where I don't have to buy cameras.
They give it to
where
you
they give them to you.
because of the quality of work that you do.
Exactly. They're like, we got to have this man on our team.
Right.
And so I think that's something that, we don't think that big anymore. We think, well, I just want to make money so that I can buy cameras. No, I want to make money so I want to be able to have the exposure and do great work.
Right.
And be so creative to the point that was like, they're like,
me.
right. They're like, there's nobody like this dude, Kenny.
Right.
His pictures are amazing. Like, and you look at some photographers and all these famous photographers that we have now, they don't do anything special.
Right.
They just know they just have an eye for that thing.
eye for it.
But they also went to school for it.
Yep.
They also took a class for it.
Yep.
So, invest in yourself.
People who know
Yeah.
how to do it too. So yeah, you do have to invest in yourself, and it's not an overnight success.
No.
Most success stories you read, Disney, Hershey, all those people. When you read the story, they were rejected. They had a lot of downfall before they reached that place or pinnacle of success. So I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. If you're truly passionate about it, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's education, whether it's church, whether it's photography, catering, car detailing, even if it's opening up your own boutique or store, selling a certain product, candy or knives and pots, whatever, candles,
whatever it is.
Mary Kay, if it's doing hair, barbering, whatever it is you do, you just gotta be willing to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And know that it may not happen overnight. May not happen over a week, may not happen over a month, but if I keep being consistent, keep posting, keep making quality work, keep putting myself in those circles where, I watch a lot of sitcoms, as you probably can tell. So, like on The Parkers, when Monique had her catering business, and so like somebody that she knew, I can't remember the full episode right now, but anyway, somebody that she knew might have been one of Kim Parker's friends on the show. She was like, "Your mom is in this particular group." She was like, "Well, give her my business card,
Right?
And if she ever needs somebody to cater, like, let me know." Like, you have to be like, that wasn't aggressive, but that was taking that opportunity to seize the moment. Like, be okay with that. Like, have your business cards with you, because you never know. When you're in Walmart, you might overhear a conversation. Somebody said, "Man, I need a photographer." And you're like, "Oh, I heard you say you need a photographer.
Yep.
Here's my card. Call me if you need." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that could just be that one contract that breaks you through to the millions that you are trying to get to.
One contract, man.
But if you're not prepared, or if you're, easily frustrated because it didn't work the first time, you may never, ever really get there.
Never get there. And like you said, all it takes is one opportunity. And the thing is, when you have the opportunity, you have to seize the
Yes,
opportunity.
immediately.
Don't play with it.
Nope.
Don't mess around. Do the
Make no
best that
sense.
you can do and put your best foot forward, because that one opportunity could simply set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
And don't take, and I will say this, there's some opportunities that are great and there's some opportunities that are small.
Right.
But don't take the great ones serious and the small ones, you know, you're just playing around. Yeah, you're just playing around with it as if, well, I ain't really getting paid much. No, you take every single one serious, because you don't know who you're running into.
That's right.
And you don't know who's sitting in the audience. You don't know who will see your pictures. You don't know who will see your videos. You don't know who's there. Exactly.
Like, they might be small.
You just never know.
But they might be the grandson or the father or the uncle of somebody who's really big. And maybe they're only doing it small because they're already rich. So they just doing this on the side. But when they see you and your work, they may connect you with that person that can help skyrocket you to the top.
And take you to the top, man.
That's the one thing about life. Like, life does be lifing, but life also has those opportunities of unexpected opportunities that just takes you, like, it takes you back like, wow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been something bad, but then, as the Bible says, you meant it for my evil, but God worked it for my good. Like, it could be an accident, but then from that accident could come, like, millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. But if you don't ever step out there and take that leap of faith and, you know, be serious about your craft, whatever it is, if it's preaching, if it's education, if it's a personal business, you know, personal chef, you'd be surprised. I was somewhere not too long ago. I can't remember where I was, but anyway, I was somewhere. It was some kind of conference, and they were talking about this man. I think he's in Charlotte. He went to school to be He went to school for finance. But he went to Charlotte and started cooking these meals, personal chef meals. And he was doing them like on the side, nothing major. But he ended up doing one for a corporate client. And now he's off of his job from finance, and all he does is personal chef stuff. That ain't what he went to school for. But it was a passion. I can't remember where I was. It was a passion of his that he had. And he's still working in corporate America doing this on the side. And he just came in contact with the right person
at the right time.
That was like, look, come off your job. I want you to be the chef for this Fortune 500 company. So he gets to do something he loves every day. And making more than he was making in corporate America.
You just never know, man.
You just never know. But if you don't try, and you don't put yourself out there, and you're not really passionate about it, you just never know. But you'll never know then.
You really will never know.
You really will never know then. And
sometimes it does take, like, you know, you may be doing a free gig, or it may take you, you know, doing a fly from somebody for free, just so that they can see your work. Because you want to tap into different, and then let me say this: don't keep, like you said earlier, don't keep yourself just tapped into one market. Like,
it's a whole world out there.
Like, don't just make church flyers. Don't just make club flyers. Don't just make birthday flyers. Like, there's so many things. Like, you can make magazine covers. You can make even newspaper articles. People still ask for those type of things. Like, and so don't just feel like, well, I'm just gonna stick to church flyers. No, like, you want to make a club flyer? I sure will, and put the pretty girl in the front. You know,
because the wealth of the wicked
is laid up
for the righteous.
It's laid up.
So if you want to lay up and give me some money so I can make this flyer for your party,
I sure will.
You know, y'all shouldn't be partying, but if this is what you want to do, here go your flyer and hand me my check.
Right. Thank you for my check.
Because I guarantee your pastor not going to ask you. I've been pastor for over a year. You used to be a pastor. You probably ain't never asked nobody, where you get your tithes from?
No.
All I did was receive them.
Exactly.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Somebody asked me one day, said, somebody came put $100,000 on the table and it was tithes. Would you ask where it came from? I said, I would not.
It ain't none of my business.
I would not.
Just like it ain't none of their business what the church going to do with it. It ain't none of my business where you got it from.
Right. So, hey, you have to make sure that you keep your mind, like, broad. Don't be narrow-minded.
That's right.
Don't be narrow-minded in this business.
And even ethnicities. You're a black person, don't just cater to the black community. You know, a lot of restaurants, especially, I will say, most successful restaurants, they have multiple ethnicities.
They do.
That patronize them.
They do.
And that's like, because if you're a restaurant, you only cater to black people. Well, let me tell you about us black people. We will buy food, but then we gonna cook at home too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But see, when you have more than one area that you're catering to, when one ethnicity or race or group of people are not doing, the other may continue. So
Yeah.
you don't want to just be, even if you are you advertise black owned business selling black products, that's good. But guess what? There's your black products, just because guess what? Before they were black products, whatever products were, we were using it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear more now about like skincare for black people and
Right.
shampoo and stuff for black people.
We didn't know
Before
nothing
that,
about that.
you-
Johnson
everybody
and Johnson, we still know who
everybody
made
used
it.
the same thing.
Yeah,
so
we still don't know.
If we could use their stuff,
Yeah.
so to speak, then who knows? They may be interested in our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't even try to market to that community,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You may be missing out on a load of influence, opportunities, and income
Yeah.
that could be readily available to
Yeah.
you because you are limiting yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just never know.
And you have to if you plan to make whatever you're doing to be a business where it's lucrative, you're gonna have to expand your horizon. Like you're gonna have to, and that's the thing. Like even I don't limit myself to just doing weddings.
Right.
I don't limit myself just to doing birthday parties or
Right.
doing whatever. Like you ask me to do something, hey, the check is there.
Let's make
I'll be there, like right there,
Yeah.
and giving my best, put my best foot forward. Because at the end of the day, I want people to always say, if you call him, he's gonna do
Right.
his best work, and you have to make sure that you just always know that you're marketing your business by your appearance, by your professionalism. If they call you, you can't be talking to 50 people in the background while a client's calling you. They want your attention.
That's right.
And also make sure you look the part. If I go to a party to do, because now they do pictures at parties, and they also do like photography for not photography, but also Instagram reels. And sometimes I can shoot with my camera, and then they'll change it over. If I go there, I'm not gonna go there looking like I came to the party. No, I came for business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to stand out. You have to look like you're part of a professional camera crew, professional, whatever it is you're doing. Just always look professional, because the way people perceive you is the way they will respect you, and in return, the way they will pay you.
Right.
And so you got to always make sure you look the part. So, I think that you definitely have hit on a lot of things tonight.
Marketing
because
matters.
marketing does definitely matter.
It matters.
And like you said earlier, stop sending bathroom pics.
Please. Please.
And stop taking them.
I mean, yeah. I think we can just chill out on bathroom pictures.
Yeah, it's too many photographers out here
Yes,
too many photographers,
stop.
and the price range is so broad
Yeah.
that you don't have to.
I mean, if you can't, and that's okay if you're starting out and you can't afford the business package.
Right.
Just go get a headshot.
One headshot.
And use that headshot until you can do better. You know
Until you
what
get
I'm
another
saying?
shot. Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it, because again, what you advertise is what you're going to attract, and it's what people are going to expect you to produce. So if you're a preacher and you putting up bathroom pictures, then you probably not gonna get invited to TD Jakes Mega Fest.
No.
I don't even know if he does it anymore, but you're probably not gonna get invited to that.
You don't see none of these major events with somebody up there with the bathroom pic.
No,
You don't. And stop sending them. Like, why do you even send that? You know what I'm saying?
And there's so many even if you can't afford certain things, there's so many self things you can do.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Like even if you're not a graphic designer, maybe you can't afford a graphic designer. You can download some of these apps that'll teach you
AI.
how to teach you how to make a flyer.
Yep.
Teach you how to make graphic designs or business cards or whatever until you can get to the place where you can do. But if you already thinking low, I'm gonna just make it myself, and you know you doing computer literate. You don't even know. You can't even remember your password or your email. Tell you gonna make a flyer. Now you ought to stop. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now that would be like me talking about I'm gonna do a podcast and I'm gonna get in here and record. Now Ryan. Back in the day, I used to be in the video. I used to want to be on the video crew with y'all, but y'all wouldn't let me be.
He is on the video crew. He does all the.
But I'm saying that operating a camera. That's not my forte.
I remember you did.
I used to want to be on the camera, and I learned a little something, but that's just not my area.
It's not, yeah.
Now, so I mean, there's no need of me saying, okay, like for my here's a perfect example, y'all. At my church on the live stream, the sound was doing some crazy stuff. My dad is a sound man, but of course my dad don't go to my church. But
Right.
it didn't pass down to me.
Right.
I don't know nothing about sound. I just don't grasp it. So why would I come out to my church and try to mess with my sound, knowing goodness well I don't know what I'm doing? Why not call somebody who actually knows something about it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let them do it instead of me getting up there and pressing buttons and moving sliders. And it probably will sound worse. Probably won't hear nothing. They're probably like,
Yeah.
So I mean,
what's wrong with your sound?
Exactly. So I mean, don't do the bathroom selfies. Don't do the homemade. Like even in your cheapest form, make it professional.
That's good.
That was
That was good. That was sometimes you get them quotes, you be like,
like
did I just say that? Where did that come from?
Even in your cheapest form, make it professional.
Yeah.
Because one thing people can't deny is your professionalism.
They can't deny it.
They can't deny it.
They
Like
cannot.
even if you in a hole in the wall, but y'all dressed up in I'm talking about a restaurant. Y'all dressed up in a chef's hat, and y'all got y'all aprons on. You know what I'm saying? And y'all look professional. You may be in a hole in the wall, but people be like, you know what? They in a hole in the wall, but they are really.
Yeah.
The customer service is amazing. The food
Yeah.
is like it draw because and people like you're taking pride in. You know, even if you're a traveling photographer, you may not have no studio. But it's just like you got all the equipment you need. Like I can make your house into a studio.
Yeah. And that's what people want.
It speaks volumes. Like wow, this woman or man don't even have a studio, but they got a portable studio with them, and it looks professional. That said, then when you actually get a studio, they're gonna want to come then, and they're gonna tell somebody else about you. You know, so invest in yourself, not necessarily just only in money wise, but like in the way you present yourself. Like Bill Cosby said, if you take a steak, potatoes, and onions and asparagus, and you put it on a trash can lid and present it to somebody, probably not gonna want to eat it.
No,
even though it's the kind you want, the kind of steak you want.
It's still it's a steak.
It's still a steak. It's cooked the way you like it, but the presentation of it. But if you take that steak, potatoes, and all that stuff and put it on a regular plate, But I mean, even if you give it to me on a plate that somebody else just ate off of, I still ain't gonna want it.
No.
Trash can lid, or I want a clean plate.
A clean plate.
Because the presentation
means something.
It means something.
Yeah, it does. So make sure your presentation is up to par. And if you need someone to give you some ideas, reach out to RBK. Seriously. No, seriously. Like, I mean, no, you reach out to me and I will help to get whatever the ideas he give you done, because he doesn't have the time. And we'll help to get the ideas done. But seriously, like, even with this podcast, one thing that we started doing was start listening to other podcasts who actually are successful.
Yeah, definitely.
I got plenty of people on my phone, like All Black Men Need Therapy. I listen to, is one called The Room. I listen to, what's his name? Mark Nowen or something. He does podcasts. His is more about like the mind and mind control. I listen to, Dave Ramsey. Like, I mean, I listen to these podcasts, and I listen to it for the information, but I also listen to what they're actually doing.
Right.
Because, being on a podcast, and I tell people all the time, like, it's different than having a conversation.
Oh, most definitely.
It's a lot different. So,
because on a podcast, you just can't stop talking and look at each other and be like, so.
Right, or get on our phones and we like we zone out for a moment. No, we got to keep going.
Keep it pushing. Yeah.
And then, too, our presentation, we make sure that we give you all the best presentation that we can. Right. So we're not just investing in mics and all this stuff just to say we have it. No, I mean, we're doing it so that, everything sounds equal. Because people start talking about it like, that sound was kind of off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they will stop listening.
It's the same thing on Facebook Live. I don't care what your Facebook Live about. You could be cooking.
Yeah.
It could be church. It could be a sports game. It could just be you just being live just to go live. When people click on that, them first 10, 15 seconds,
you either grab them.
If the sound ain't right, if the picture ain't right, if what you saying ain't making sense, they will keep right on scrolling to the next. And when you do, like if you go on Facebook, I know on the business pages, like you can go and look and see the statistics of the live, and it'll show you like, maybe 1,000 people clicked on it. Then it'll show you like how many people stayed up there the first 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like 800 people got off. Well, then that should send. That at least is how my brain works.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now why did 800 people get off in these first 15
There's
seconds?
a reason.
What was I doing? What was I saying? Like, let me go back and look at that.
Yeah.
And being reflective and being like, okay, this is something I need to do better.
Yeah.
You know, just like my live at church. Okay, it was going good, and all of a sudden I'm noticing ain't nobody up there like that.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, let me go back. Even though I usually listen to it anyway, but I was listening to it intently. Like, there's got to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then you address that problem to hopefully gain back the support, followers, or whatever it is that you had.
Yeah.
You know, back. So
it's like a movie, man.
Job.
Yeah. It's like a movie. It's just like anything else we watch. People are watching the movie that you watch, and you find things wrong with it. People are watching your live and trying to find something wrong with it.
True.
They're watching your podcast. They're listening to your CD. They're listening to your YouTube channel, whatever it may be. They're listening to it, trying to find something wrong with it. So please make sure you know that marketing matters, man. And take time to put, what's the word I'm looking for? Invest into your marketing. And, I guarantee you will not regret it.
It'll pay off, I promise you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You be consistent and do what you're supposed to do. Keep your, ears open to the market that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And, always be willing to learn and shadow and, from other people. It'll turn up eventually.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Results, big dividends.
And we're sorry that you can't get no deep conversation tonight from Razor Sharp Russ.
We apologize. We did the best we could.
And Russ, if we fail you tonight, just let us know when you come back.
Oh, I'm sure he will. He'll tell us.
Y'all guys should have said something about.
XYZ.
But yeah, so we're gonna be back, and we have some things that we're gonna be doing as well, and we're gonna be more consistent. And listen, we
just stay connected to the pages.
Stay connected, and truth is, we will actually do this. We have some to talk about, and it's funny because when we bring something, when we try to come up with we have a topic or something, it's hard to think about it in the moment. Yeah. But during the day when you're not thinking about anything, everything comes to your mind. So if we actually was to do this like every day, we would have something to talk about. Oh, yeah. But we can't do a podcast every day. Now y'all invest in us.
Who won't their job and do?
Every day.
Every day.
And so, but eventually, this the thing. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just doing it just so we got something to say. No, that's the plan. We're gonna be so effective to the point we're gonna have shows on the road.
Yeah.
Like that's how we think. We're not. Yeah, let's talk. Like we're not just trying to keep it just in Greenville.
Right.
We're going to have a show big enough to the point where we have people wanting to invite us to other podcasts on the road and other cities. Like, it's gonna be like that.
Let's talk bus tour.
It's coming. It's coming. So we need to get some bus drivers or tour buses. If you have a tour bus rental, we need to talk to you soon.
Party bus, we'll take that.
Party bus, we'll take that. So yeah. So anything else you want to say? Any final thoughts you want to?
Let's see. Final thoughts on marketing matters. I would just say, never give up.
Yeah.
Whatever you're passionate about. I mean, if you're truly passionate about, I ain't talking about something like that you want to do because you saw somebody else do. I'm talking about something that, like, some people, like, they're really passionate about cooking.
Right.
They're really passionate about photography. They're really passionate about preaching. They're really that it's something that they've always wanted to do.
Right.
If you're really passionate about it, never give up.
Yeah.
Even when it looks like the business, the organization, whatever it is not being successful, keep pushing the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pedaling. Keep going forward, because there's a breakthrough somewhere in there.
It's coming.
That'll come if you just be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And then if you feel like you're in a rut, seek some professional development. Go to a conference. Get some inspiration. Yeah. So that way you can do, because I'm closing on this, can't nobody do what you do like you do. Oh, that was good.
You know what?
I feel the spirit of Russ in the room.
This joke get on my
Russell,
nerves.
You're here.
You know what? After that,
no,
all I can say is,
amen. You can grab hold to it. It's one for you too.
Oh,
can I make a confession? I have actually never gone back and listened to any of our podcasts because I do not want to hear myself talk. I have never.
Oh.
Now the video that I did the other day, I went and looked at it, but I did not turn the sound on because you had the words on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to listen to myself. I just watched the words. So I have not.
Y'all
but
get
I'm
them.
going to do better about that. I just hate listening to myself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why. Though. I mean, you give
But
some
I'm
great
but
and
this
valuable.
One, these 2 quotes I done had today, I'm gonna go listen to this. I need to write them down, put them on a T-shirt.
Hey, matter of fact, by the way, you need to get your T-shirt. Let's Talk
By the
Podcast
way, where is
T-shirt.
my T-shirt?
I got to give it to you, man.
See?
It's at the house.
Can we talk
For a minute?
For a minute.
And I'm gonna bring your T-shirt. I'm gonna get him
Matter
his
of fact,
T-shirt.
Where you going to after this?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm about to follow you to your house. I get my shirt. Then you can go wherever you gonna go.
Hey, now y'all heard him right. So yeah, what was that? Now he got me. Oh yeah, final thoughts for marketing. I can't follow behind that, but I would simply say, just take all the information we gave you tonight.
It's kind of like they say on the
and put it to
shows
use.
After they had a serious show, they'd be like, if you know someone who's dealing with
right,
please reach out to.
Yeah, so that's all I would say. Like seriously,
So if you want some marketing help, this is the guy. He has a whole studio, photography, videography, graphics. He's the guy.
K3 Productions will help you out. That's for sure.
Do T-shirts. I mean, whatever you need.
I mean,
you can do it. So hit him up.
Hit me up, and after that, I guess I can say amen.
Amen.
No, thank you seriously for watching, for listening. Let's Talk Podcast. We really appreciate you, seriously. To all of you all who listen to us, and I get an email. So like when we go up on like downloads, so I got an email. It was from the last show, it was like 200.
Oh wow!
And I got an email today because it refreshes every week, and so it was like we gained 12 more followers this week.
Wow!
So whoever the 12 of you are, thank you. For the 212 of you all who listen to us,
yes.
Thank you. And they have the notifications on. That's how I get the notification.
Okay.
So we're at 212 right now. Matter of fact, make sure if you have an Instagram, go to our Instagram page and follow us as well.
Yeah.
And DM us and let us know if you're enjoying it. What can we do better? What any topic you may want us to talk about. And to those of you who do inbox us and ask to come on the show, we trying. I mean, it's tough because some of you all are like, you live in another state. And so we can't fly you down. We can't.
You have to fly yourself down.
Yeah, you can fly yourself down.
If you're in the area, if you have family here, let us know when you'll be.
If you ever come to the area, yeah, we can definitely do something like that. But like somebody asked, can they be on the show? And it was like, but I'm in Chicago. I was like, well, how are we gonna do that? I mean, we can't do it virtually, because we don't do the virtual shows anymore. But yeah, so if you do want to be on the show, it has to be something interesting. So we're not just like pushing you off.
Right.
Please don't think that. But definitely lock in with us, tap in with us, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And we'll certainly appreciate it.
All right.
Until the next time, I am K3.
And I am RBK.
And we will talk to you the next time.
K3. I said KBJ. Sorry. Yes, that's right. My bad. We're done. Sorry.
Have a great night.
Have a great night.